Okay, I'm very excited to look at the Apollo. We've got a 15-minute kind of overview and review of the Apollo. It's the newest ship. I've starved myself from looking at this the entire week while it was released so that I could give you my opinions on it. Already, we've gotten into heated discussions right now about what John Crewe had said when they introduced the Apollo about the T1 MedBeds being exclusively only for medical ships. We're talking how we want them also in capital ships. We think that's a very adult, rational thing to want. We think that even people that are focused like the med runners on medical gameplay understand that you should probably have T1 MedBed facilities in a larger carrier-based class ship. Okay, now let's get over that conversation and let's really look at the Apollo now and see what we think of the Apollo.
Hello and welcome back to Star Citizen. My name is Evenlease, and today on 10 Minutes more or less ship
Very good crowd
review,
tonight. What's
we're
up,
taking a
Pepper?
look at the
You're on deck
RSI
next, buddy.
Apollo MEDIVAC. Let's go ahead and take a look.
We got Kalani and Fatbird in here tonight. And Wookie. Wookie's here too. Glad the Star Citizen Machinima community. Shout out to my friend Nate.
Now, as a disclaimer, this is just a preview.
They put so much work into her. I mean, like, she makes, I mean, like, really? They need to go back on the Connie. They need an overhaul on the Connie after this, because I mean, like, this is like, whew, you know, I'm seeing sparkles come off of this. I'm seeing nothing but sparkles, man. They definitely, like, this is a very glossed gold standard look right now that I'm looking at right with the Apollo. Like, this is crazy good looking. It has Star Trek vibes, man, just like the Meteor had, which we're giving away. The RSI vibes are very Star Trek-y, man. Very.
You and every stat that I tell you right now does have the chance to change between now and its live release.
We're having a great
On
night.
the live release of this ship, I will be doing a full review with the stats, even if they haven't changed, because I'm going to include the paint preview. So with that, thank you, Sereth Omega and WinRAR42 for...
The bridge is great. I mean, there's much more room on this bridge, which is nice. I like that they expanded the width of the bridge. Very cool.
Joining me on today's preview, starting off, this ship was originally priced at $275 standalone with...
I mean, my God, what a beautiful ship. They really did a great job with the aesthetics on the outside of this and the translation from the art that we got to this. It really comes through. I think they nailed it. They did a very good job. A little bit different on the front and the port and starboard sides with that slope, but I think they pulled it off.
The last sale of this ship, but right now we do not know a final live price, but expect it to be around the $300 range for this variant of the ship. Now, it does have an 18-minute and 10-second claim time, or a 4-minute and 33-second expedited claim time. If you were to currently lose your ship and need to claim it, that's how long you'll be waiting. Now, the pilot does have control over all the weapons on here currently, so the top turret is slaved, giving you a total of about 2,600 burst damage per second.
And let's get that going with all ships that have turrets. Let's just get that going.
But if you don't include that top turret, the pilot does have 1,636 burst damage per second due to the 2 size 4 CF447 Rhinos. The pilot also has 16 size 2 Ignite 2 missiles, which is really nice.
They didn't think that this ship should have this many guns. You're right.
Giving you about 1,013 burst damage per second, and that's due to the 2 size 3 Mantis GT220s on the top there, which is a pretty...
I mean, if you think about it, these ships are going to go down into hot zones, so I don't mind the guns on this. It's so purty, it needs a little bit of bite, you know?
A decent amount of damage, and with the ballistic changes coming up, might do you a little bit better, so we'll see what happens. Now, you do have 4 size 2 stop generator shield generators. They are bubble shields, giving you 16,520 overall HP as a stock setup of shields, which isn't terrible. And then the ship comes with 121,700 ship health pool, which is actually quite considerably a lot. Now,
okay, good.
One thing I do have to say is look at the size of this thing compared to something like the medical Terrapin. So there will be use cases for something like this ship with its size.
Isn't it cool to see this? Isn't it great to see how far along we've come right now? and see the different medical ships in action, the Apollo coming out like this, to actually see them in game. Let's just take a moment and breathe that in for a moment. You know, let's breathe some good news in. Everybody wants the bad news, but let me kind of like breathe in the good news to see this.
Actually, if that change with the Idris losing its tier 1 bed goes into play, now you're going to have this ship being the only ship in the game with a tier 1 medical bed that is actually flyable, which is actually pretty interesting. But again, this ship is huge. So it's not going to be able to fit into tight corners or go into a battle very sneakily like a medical terrapin, but it is fantastic looking. Look at this thing.
Yeah,
it is
beautiful.
Gorgeous. One of the best looking like textures out there on a ship recently on the exterior. I mean, I'm just super excited for the rest of the ships that we're looking to get this year. And the sound design, let's listen to that really quick before we finish off with the stats. Take a listen at all these sounds.
Fingers. Wow, we're getting a lot better with sound design. Moving forward, I'm very excited. Great sound design. What's up, Antonio? Welcome to the new patch, huh?
Now, isn't that just phenomenal? The way this thing sounds, the sound team has just been knocking it out of the park with the L-21 Wolf, with the Apollo. I cannot wait to see with the Perseus, which is coming soon, the Paladin, and so many other ships potentially coming really soon. What they're going to sound like, my mind is blown. With the
you guys have been freaking me out all night. I'm trying to relax and have a really fun night, and like now I'm kind of pissed about the T1 exclusivity with only medical ships having T1 beds, and they absolutely capital ships should have them, and like I got a little bit upset about that, but it's cool. You guys should keep me aware of what's going on out there, and I'm like breathing through that shit, and now I'm like just like, okay, we're obviously past that point of the discussion. We're looking at the Apollo. She's looking good, she's sounding good, right? And then Antonio's now making me nervous about the new patch drop, and I'm like, shit, I hope I didn't lose all the ships that I lost in game with purchasing in game. You know what I mean? Like I stored all the ships on planets. I don't want to lose anything. I got all my ships set up the way that I want. Every time a patch hits, I get nervous, right? So I'm trying to, like, I got that behind me. I get in here, right? I'm trying to relax, enjoy the Apollo, and Antonio comes in, and now I'm freaking out that I lost my shit in the game with the newest patch to drop, dude. Antonio, let's hear it for Antonio. Antonio and Hugh tonight, way to go. Raising my anxiety levels, man. I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to have a good time, man. I really am. I swear. I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to have a good time, man.
Team, good job, CIG.
They're coming in here, man.
This ship does have a top SCM speed of 175 with a 340 forward boost, a 180 backwards boost, and a top nav speed of 1,000.
I love you guys. Don't worry. Don't change Antonio in here. I love you too.
20, 65, boosted 32, 24, 78. I am too. And it does have 48 countermeasures or flares.
Listen, Wooksy, that's what I've been trying to tell him. Thank you, Wooksy. Let's hear it for Wooksy. He understands. He understands it. This is what they do. This ain't our first rodeo. They're doing it to placate the people that are buying the Apollos. They want the Apollo sales up, and they will eventually change it so that like capital ships will have the T1s. Right.
And 5 decoys. Now you do have 63 SCU of hydrogen fuel and 4.5 SCU of quantum fuel. And again, Any one of these stats could potentially change between now and its live release coming soon, so keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the exterior really quick of this ship. As you can see, it does have the wee woo lights on the outside, which is really fantastic. They look great. And then you do have two entrances and two exits on this ship, which thankfully they've learned from that, right? So adding more than one entrance exit is fantastic. You do have the one here at the front, which is an elevator that drops down kind of like a constellation. But I'm going to take a look at the interior of that drop down animation to show you something different that looks amazing. But first, let's go to the rear entrance, which is a multi-stage ramp. And what I mean by multi-stage ramp is it doesn't just open up as one ramp in the ground. It opens, it opens, it opens. So you have 3 technical stages to this ramp, and this is where you're primarily going to be entering this ship. And someday, maybe we'll be able to go ahead and dock to a station via this area right here.
Okay, and this is the last time I'm going to pause, but I swear to you, I'm telling you right now, these discussions are really important to have. But common sense will prevail, and T1 beds will be in capital ships. And Hugh Freeze is bringing out a great example of what it is that Wooksy and I are talking about. Hugh says there is always drama when they drop a new thing or ship because of a decision like this. So I'm pretty used to it, he says, because Hugh is a veteran, like Wooksy and I, and many of you in here are veterans. So if you're a little green, if you're a rookie, if you're a noob and you're watching and you're upset about this stuff, take a breath. The vets are here to help you, right? We're used to this stuff. It happens. And then Hugh says, just like the destroyed handheld tractors when they introduced the Atlas, right? So, you know, they reverse course on that one. There's a lot of times where these kind of game mechanic decisions will make you upset, and then they'll go back to the way that it didn't make you upset. Right? There's a lot of examples like that.
Partially and not fully down like that, which would be truly amazing. Let's go ahead and listen to the sound of this airlock really quick when we go ahead and close it.
You think this guy is a used car or insurance salesman, Wooksy? It's got that new ship smell. Yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
Check this out. It is a docking collar, so it's not just an airlock. What I mean is you're going to be able to dock this thing against the station someday. When? We don't know, but hopefully soon. Now, taking a look through the docking collar area, you're going to see what is the main floor of this ship. There's only one floor. It's one.
Also awesome, because you know what this makes me think of when I seen that? Star bases for players, player-owned star stations, man. Holy God. Like they're kind of designing out the docking ports along with the hangar mechanics and hangar mechanisms that lock into them. It is really cool to see this because I can see where they're going to go with this. With player-owned star bases.
Level, the ship is really thin. Compared to most concepts that go to live, this ship did not fatten up at all, which is truly just awesome. You gotta love that. It looks fantastic. And the main floor is very clean, very pretty. And it has some interesting designs to it, from multiple screens to also some lettering that might be a little off because this is the MEDIVAC, but it does say triage in a few different areas. So something to kind of take a look at and know that it will change down the road, that some of these, stickers will be removed. Now, when you walk in here, you have a cargo room as well as an area to set 3 rifles, 3 tractor beams, 3 medical guns or handguns, and a suit locker. Now, these are replicated on the other side where that door is there, but right here is where you're going to be storing your cargo. And I will tell you, if anybody says,
triage area, right? Triage what happens in the room, right?
This thing is impossible to load cargo on. They're wrong. You can take a 1 SCU container in and out of this ship all day long, including even a 2 SCU container right through the back door with no issues. Like, this is probably one of the easier loadings compared to some of your smaller ships that carry 4, 8, 12, 16 SCUs. No issues at all loading cargo on either side as long as you're looking at a 1 or 2 SCU container box. Now, you got to ask yourself, well, why? That's kind of sucks. Well, this is not a cargo ship. It's a medical ship. You're not really supposed to be loading 4, 8, 16s or 32s or even 24s because you're doing medical work. This is supply boxes. You're going to have things in here to supply your ship, like more tractor beams, guns, armors, all sorts of different things that you can go ahead and run and do supplies with, and some combat missions. Now, when you come out here, you have another area, but this one actually has...
And frankly, just so we know, that area that we were looking at, that's not enough area for my medical goo. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm... like I need a lot more storage space for all my medical goo. I'm just saying.
All sorts of different things that you can go ahead and run and do supplies with, and some combat missions. Now, when you come out here, you have another area, but this one actually has an engineering terminal, which, funny enough, says Aegis right there in the bottom right. So they'll probably have to update that as well. And then when you walk in here, you're going to have the choice between 3 different medical rooms that you can put on either side. Let's take a look. You have the Tier 3 medical module that comes with the 3 Tier 3 beds, and then it comes with a medical refrigerator, and it comes with 3 storage lockers, which we'll take a look at as well. And then you have the Tier 2 medical station, which comes with...
Dudes, it's just so well constructed. It's clean, it's sterile, it looks like a hospital in the ship. Like, they did a very good job on the design of this ship.
2 Tier 2 medical beds, of course, the refrigerator as well. And
yeah, that tight little hole that Apollo has. Coob, there you are, Coob. I was wondering where you are, buddy. Hold on, where's my Coob button at? Coob. Yeah, I mean, like, the problem is like you're threading a needle on the back end of the Apollo, but big deal, you should be. Like, as this guy said, this is a medical ship, not a cargo ship. Right, Coob? Right.
2 personal storage areas, and then you have the Tier 1 module, which comes with 1 Tier 1
coming
bed
in with the bang,
and then 1 storage locker. I mean, they do have some differences there, and they look fantastic, and the new medical gameplay is going to really benefit on this ship. But let's go ahead and take a look. Right now, I'm walking into a Tier 2 setup. This Tier 2 setup has all these nice areas that you can place a lot of your medical supplies, including the new canisters. This is exactly what this wall's for, but right here is a $1 million wall, as these canisters cost $100,000 each. So,
and this is what's on the platter for pirates right now. And this is what I'm actually saying that people mostly agreed with me last week, which is the medical goo should be in the hands of the players in terms of the value. Like, once this economy gets going and we can craft this on our own, like, why only 100,000, right? Like, they're just plugging 100,000 into a spreadsheet right now. But like, once we craft this, it should cost more. It should cost more to revive. Like, your life reviving over and over again should come with a very high cost. And every time that you actually are reanimated into the world should cost a little bit more, right? So that's the interesting thing about what we want to see from the medical game loop. This death of a spaceman narrative, the best way to make sure that people are making decisions where they're really thinking about their decisions. People are going to get mad at me when I say this, but the higher the price of the goo, just like the spice in Dune, right? The higher the price of the goo, the more people are going to think about what they're going to go through, okay? Like, what do they want to do? The decisions that I make are going to be expensive if I die. Now, right now, because of what we're in, and it's buggy and the whole thing, we're gonna cap this at 100K, says Cloud Imperium. But eventually, when the game gets to the point where it's finished, that dream day, right? And I want this to be in the hands of the players, like player-driven economy. How much does it cost to make the goo? How much do people really want the goo? They're going to want it. It's going to be a very big in-demand thing, just like food will be. Like, people don't even understand how food's going to play into this right now, right? Food will be a big deal. You'll need farmers. You'll need people creating, crafting the medical goo. This is all things that will be player driven that are just, in the future, in the far future. But these are the great things about this game that people have forgotten about, that a lot of people don't like to talk about because they're like, oh, this is so far away. Well, shit, the things that are happening right now, we talked about already. Right. So it's great to see that. So, like, a lot of people are positive in this community, and a lot of people call me a white knight. Right. But like, the thing is we talk like years in advance. Like, when we talk about game theory, right, we're talking about what we want to see from the game, and we're actually seeing it happen. We've seen everything that we've talked about happen up to this point. So that's why we know there's progress here on DG360. That's why we like to keep it positive, because we do see the progress. We actually see it happening, right? This is where I see this going. Eventually, when crafting comes in the game, the economy becomes more serious. They're going to charge more for this, and the caps will come off, but not anytime soon. Not while we're still dealing with server tech issues and bugs and shit like that. But Stargoo is going to be very... Java's cracking me up tonight. But this is going to be a big target for pirates as well. So you're going to need security ships. So I don't want to hear, especially med runners and people that are focusing on this gameplay, bitch about getting pirated. You should have people there that know how to PvP with you. You should have security with you. This is a grown-up game with grown-up circumstances and lots of fun. This is an MMO. So this is the next stage. You're going to see people bitch about, oh, pirates are coming after me for all of my med goo. Well, yes, they will. Yes, they will. So make sure. This is why the ship has a lot of guns, because it's carrying a treasure inside of it, right? So if people are wondering why their ship has a lot of guns, here's your answer. It's going to be a target to all the pirates. They're going to look at this ship. They're going to lick their chops. They're going to be like, ooh, look, an Apollo. Tasty. I wonder how many medical goo canisters it has on the shelves. I wonder how many medical goo canisters it has stored up inside of it, because you're going to need quite a few. If this is your business, you're going to need a few of these canisters floating around in your ship. Right.
So you got to be very careful about how much you're actually going to stock on each one of these shelves, but you can definitely do it and make it look very pretty, which I love that. And then over here, you do have the area where you would be putting the medical canisters. Currently, well, thankfully, they brought the ship to the PTU first. It doesn't work, and it'll probably work on Monday on this ship. And right here is your medical beds, the tier 2. The tier 2 is right over here. And then you have a nice area to wash your hands off, clean up as a doctor. And then you have your patient storage, which is right here. You can go ahead and open that up and take a look. You have 2 of them with the tier 2. Now remember, each tier has a different amount of beds. Tier 1, 1 bed, 1 storage. Tier 2, 2 beds, 2 storage. Tier 3, 3 beds, 3 storage. It's pretty simple. And then you have the medical refrigerator, which is right here. Looks nice. I'll show you the other side too. Looks really good. And then if you walk through this door over here, you go ahead and open that up and you'll see it's like a bathroom for the patients. You have a nice little mirror over here. You have an area to stand and go ahead and use the restroom. You got a waste area. And then if you walk on back, you're going to go ahead and take a look at the next area, which is going to be a tier 1 medical room. We'll go ahead and open up the door here. And as you can see, this is the tier 1 medical room. It's a little bit more vacant than the tier 2 medical room. There's honestly not too much other than some canisters here. And then you have the bed, as well as another monitor here and a storage unit. And of course, the medical refrigerator right on over here with some supplies loaded up for any adventures we need to take, which is honestly awesome. Now, if you go to this tier 1 medical bed, you'll see that it does have, I'm not here reviewing and showing you the new medical system. That's just not what this is for. This is just to show you this, but
all night it's been rowdy because of these because of the tier 1, man. It's sought after. Like the amount of fire, the amount of passion just goes to tell you how important medical gameplay is. It just goes to tell you how important Death of a Spaceman is. I mean, this encourages me. I see people getting like upset about this with good reason too. This actually encourages me because this is a very important part of the Star Citizen experience, man. It's how you live and how you die. Yeah.
It does look pretty awesome. And you'll notice you have nowhere to put the canisters,
right
but
here,
I believe it does go here on the bed, but it's currently pretty hard to, get this to work. So it is open now. It wasn't open earlier. We did use the terminal once, and you can probably go ahead and fill that up now to add more, which when that's open, you can probably put the canister in there. And then if you make your way through here, same idea. It's a nice little bathroom for anybody that's on board, looking decent, nice area to take care of yourself. And then we'll make our way back over to the main lobby area and walk through this hallway. You have yourself a very beautiful space roof here.
That is really cool.
Which looks fantastic.
That's cool.
Being able to look at the stars while you're out and about, nothing better than that. I love
the canopy. That is such a great idea to put a canopy in the hall like that.
The windows, and thank you for adding that,
so
CIG.
Cool.
And as you continue right onto this next room, a lot of your components are to your right as well to your left, and back in the 2 original rooms with the cargo, there are more component areas over there. So, keep an eye out for that. When engineering comes into play, you'll need to know it. And of course, you're going to have your stickers all around showing B.
What's
Curtis,
up,
which is,
veteran?
I believe, the person that worked on this
man.
ship, which is amazing. Did such a fantastic job. In here, you do have a bathroom for the crew. They can go ahead and go in here, use the restroom, take care of themselves, take a shower. It is a fantastic little space. Not a place I want to be too much, but and then you've got these RSI.
What's he saying? This guy sounds like a used car salesman. Now, if you get in the camera, you won't have the sticker right here. Like, did you hear his car salesman laugh, Wooksy?
Stickers everywhere. B. Curtis, they're above the beds. They're all over the place. Nice little eating area right here with the fire extinguisher. Looks beautiful. Of course, I'm going to say that constantly. This door does lock from.
He's got salesman vibes. He is rocking it. Wooksy might be onto something. This guy is rocking it salesman vibes.
The inside. So if I want to go ahead and be like, nah, I just really don't think it's a good idea that we're going to have other people come on in here. I'm going to go ahead and just lock this up and be like, sorry, no can do. You can't come in here. Sorry, maybe later. But then you have a nice bed here, right above it, personal storage. And then over here, a nice bed, personal storage. It's a fantastic looking.
Love that the beds are, I mean, the beds in the bridge are a little bit weird. Put a 1 if you agree with me. The beds on the bridge area, a little bit strange, but very convenient. You know, like in terms of gameplay, it's very convenient. I just like to have the beds on the bridge. I'm not sure.
Ship. And here is
you guys are rocking it. Wooksy and Diva are like, no, we love. That's where all the action is on the bridge. Bounce, wow, wow, now. Where's my Diva bud? She's like, that's where I like. I love. Black Fox likes it. I mean, like, in terms of utility, yeah. I mean, it makes it very convenient. I'm just saying I don't know a lot of ships that have beds on the bridge, you know.
For entry, exit, I've got to say, I wish the Constellation series had this ability. So I'm going to go ahead and deploy this.
You know what? It kind of does make sense, too. Like medical outbreaks, I don't think we're getting into that, like virulent kind of gameplay that would be out there. That would be interesting, but I wouldn't even get involved in that conversation, right? Oh man, catching diseases, dude. I mean, we did talk about this a long time ago. Did we not? We talked about like people getting sick. We talked about people spreading it to other people, right? Like viruses. We've had this talk before when we've gone through game theory, but it does make sense on that level that they've kind of contained themselves to the bridge and been able to lock off all of the medical areas, right? And keep themselves insulated on the bridge with a little elevator that comes up and it has that little glass around it. That is, the more I think about it, kind of neat.
Which is like some guardrails, handrails, whatever you want to call it. And then you can go ahead and step on board.
Zap says, we once got stuck inside an elevator on a stream with Even Lease, and he started selling the features of it. True story. Holy God, man. That is the greatest, dude. Hold on. First off, I'm going to like this video. So if Even Lease is watching this, I want you to know, bro, you're doing a great job. You're just giving off salesman's vibe, bro.
Go down and check this out. It like encases you in something that would keep the air inside your car.
Dude, if this guy was part of our organization, I'd make him a salesman. I'd just be like, here you go. Here's our fleet of ships. These are the ones we want to sell Even Lease. Get out there and make your sales, bro. Get your sales. I'll hook you up with a good commission.
Cockpit, so your pilots are sucked out when it opens up, unlike the Constellation series of ships where it's oddly cramped and almost takes your head off every time you try to get out of it, which is pretty gnarly. Now let's go ahead and make our way to the cockpit chair so you can go ahead and see what it looks like here. It is quite a beautiful view. You have quite a few options when you get into this chair. The pilot, the co-pilot, both can control the ship, land, take off, do everything they need to do. On the bottom left over here, you can operate your emergency lights, turning them on and off. They are separate to your headlights. And then you do have access to the remote turret as the pilot, which is really odd, and I think it was meant to be for the co-pilot, but the pilot does have access to that. Otherwise, that is everything with this ship. There's only one last thing I forgot to show you, and that's just where the fuel port is on it. So we'll go ahead and take a quick look at that, as there is one on the ground level. Now, there is a fuel port ground level. You go ahead and make your way all the way through. It's such a great looking ship. I like that they didn't fatten it up and they just like elongated it. It is very beautiful. So when you make your way out to the ground, you go ahead and go around this corner here, and you will see that there is a fuel port button right on the outside. Go ahead and open that up, and you can go ahead and refuel your ship. Let me know, what do you think of the Apollo currently in the PTU? Personally, I cannot wait to give you a true review score on.
Looking good, looks good, aesthetically good. Interiors look great. Love that canopy in the center hallway going to the bridge. That's a nice touch. I think, yes, it should have a lot of guns on it after thinking about this because of the medical goo that is on board, and that this is going to be the #1 ship that pirates will love to encounter. If they run into an Apollo, trust me, pirates will be like, ooh, yummy, tasty. Let's get that medical goo. What I can see in the future for medical gameplay, only good things. T1 beds, I think, will eventually go to capital ships, and there you go. So these are all my opinions on the Apollo. I've waited a whole week to watch it with you because that's how I am. I'm like, I cannot get a sneak peek. I will give you my honest reactions of it, and there you go. I think she's a beautiful looking ship. I think it comes up to the standards of what I was looking for. I like the interiors. I like that they're going after more modular kind of based designs. And I like the fuel mechanics that I saw there on ships. The newer the ships, the more mechanics and game loops you're going to see being introduced. We saw a fuel line on the Apollo is really interesting. Every new ship that comes out fresh for us to use has something new involved when it comes to new game loops. And I really like the direction. I see the progress.